Hey guys, welcome back to another Unreal Engine 4 tutorial, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to open a door using your mouse drag. So you're going to drag your mouse to be able to open the door, and this is very similar to Phasmophobia or Amnesia or other horror games like that. They typically use doors like this. So I'll show you what this is going to look like now. So I'm going to go into first person. As you can see, we can then open this door by just holding down left mouse button and dragging it like so. And it has a maximum place it can go open to that way, and then also this way as well. It can't go any further than that, but then we can still move it like so. And these red lines here are just for testing. We can remove these afterwards if you want, which obviously you will. So I'll show you how to do this now. So our first step is going to be to create our door blueprint. So to do that, what we're going to do is right click in the content browser, create a blueprint class. I'm going to create an actor, and I'm going to call this one drag door BP, but you can name this whatever you like door BP or anything like that, and then open that up straight away. We're going to maximize this and then go straight up to the viewport where you should be ready. And what we're going to do is add a component, and we're just going to add a static mesh, and this is just going to be our door. So I'm going to name that door and then just add this as the starter content door that we have. You can choose whatever you like, but I'm using the starter content like so. And that is all we need to do in the viewport. Those are the only components we need to add. However, one other thing we can do here is create a new variable. So in the bottom left, we're going to hit plus variable, and I'm going to call this one open angle or max angle or anything like that. This is just how far you want the player to be able to open it. If you want them to be able to just spin it all the way around in a circle, you don't need to do this step, but I can't imagine you would want to do that. So once you've made that, we're going to change it from a boolean to a float, compile, so we can change the default value, and then I'm going to set this to 100. You can set this to whatever you like, but I'm setting it to 100 because this is how far I want it to be. So I want that to be the maximum open angle, and then obviously it will be that as well for minus 100, but you can choose whatever you like. I'm just using 100. So once you've done that, we're going to go over to the event graph over here like so. We're going to delete begin overlap and event tick, and then off of event begin play, what we're going to do is we're going to enable input the target as self and player controller as get player controller, and this is just going to allow the player to use the interaction key or the left mouse button basically, so they can actually open this door. Compile that, and then because we want to enable them to use that, we also want to create that action mapping. So go to the top left and edit project settings. Once this is loaded, if we go down to input down here, we're going to create an action mapping. Now I already have one here from previous tutorials, but I'm going to create a new one as well. So I have interact E, so you can have it as E as well, or what I'm going to do is hit the plus action mapping. I'm just going to call this one drag door or anything like that, and I'm going to set this one to be left mouse button. So left mouse button like that, and you can change this and set it to be whatever you like. But the reason we're doing this is because then we can add multiple buttons in this and have it on different consoles, or also add up key bindings later on if we wanted. Once we've done that, we can close that straight away, and then back in the event graph here, what we can do is we can right click and we can search for that. So I called it drag door. So if I get drag door action mapping there, now when the player presses the left mouse button, it's going to fire off this line of code. So one thing I want to do is create another variable. So I'm going to hit plus variable here, and I'm going to call this one is holding left mouse button, like so, question mark. I'm going to make this one a boolean, and I'm going to set this to true off of pressed and false off of released, like so. So essentially, when the player is holding down left mouse button, this will be true, and when they stop, it will be false. And we need to use this in the code later on. And so then after this, so off of pressed, all we want to do is come out of the set is holding, and we want to cast to our character. So for me, this is third person character, but for you, it's going to be third, first, whatever you've named it. Just make sure that you cast to it, and the object is obviously going to be get player character. So get player character like so. And as the third person character, we want to get the camera. So for me, I'm going to get the first person camera as it works better in there, but this does still technically work in third person as well. It just looks better in first. So I'm going to get FPP camera. That's what I've named it. Go all the way down to the bottom and get it there. Out of this, what I'm going to do is get world location. So get the location of your camera. And then also out of that, I'm going to get the forward vector, the forward facing vector of the camera. Out of the get forward vector, what I'm going to do is just get a multiply, so vector times by a float. And this float here, I'm going to set to 500. This is going to be the length of our line trace. So the line trace is how far away basically you are from the door. So I'm going to set this to 500. Meaning that we have to be 500 units away or less to be able to open this door. But you can set this to whatever you like. Then out of the get world location, I'm going to get a vector plus a vector and add the multiply in the bottom there. And then what I'm going to do out of the cast again, so just out of the execution of the cast, I'm going to get a line trace for objects. So line trace for objects like so, with the start as the get world location and the end as this addition node here. And so what this is doing is that the start of our line trace is going to be the camera, and the end of it is going to be 500 units away in front of the player. So that is going to work perfectly like so. So this is drawing our line. So this is drawing our line trace towards the door to check to see if we are near enough the door, and we are hitting the door. Object types, what we're going to do is we're going to make array, and this is going to be world dynamic, so we can move it. So that is going to be obviously our door as it's movable, so make sure it's movable there. And we're also going to untick ignore self so that it can work in this blueprint as well. Then after this, what I'm going to do is hold down B, left click, and get a branch, plug that into the line trace like so, with the condition as the return value for that line trace as well. So if it has hit something. The out hit, what I'm going to do is break hit result like so, and open it up like that. Out of the hit actor of this, what I'm going to do is just cast to this door. So cast to drag door BP, as that's what I've named it, but you can call this whatever you want. And the reason we're doing this basically is so that we know it has hit this door and this blueprint and nothing else. So then after this, what I'm going to do is create another variable, and I'm going to call this one is looking at door question mark. Again, making sure this is a boolean, and both of those are false by default. After the cast, I'm going to set that to true, and off of false of this branch, I'm going to set that to false like so. So now this is the code for making sure that we're looking at the door. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to comment that. So comment this and just call this check if player is looking at door, as that is essentially what this is doing. If they're holding left mouse button and they are doing that onto the door, we can then fire off the code that we want, which we'll do in a minute, and that is obviously rotating the door. I'm also going to comment this, so just select it and press C. Sorry, that's how you comment. I'm just going to call this enable use of left mouse button, like so. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our player character. So I'm going to minimize this, go to content, third person BP, blueprints, third person character. But again, for you, this could be anything that you've named it. So this could be first, third, or whatever you've named it. And then once we're in here, we're going to go down and find the mouse input. And off of the input axis turn, what we're going to do is we're going to right click on the axis value, and we're going to promote that to a variable. Now I'm just going to call this turn rate. You can name this whatever you like, but that is what I'm going to call it, making sure it's obviously a float, which it should be already. So this is going to basically get the turn rate of our door. Now there are other ways of doing this, so you can actually just get the turn rate, but that can sometimes break your movement input and your mouse input. So just to be sure, just to be careful, we're going to do it this way, just so it doesn't have the chance to break anything. So once you've done that, you can compile, save, and close that, and go back to our door blueprint. So then what we're going to do is we're going to run a couple of checks to see if we can rotate the door. So what we're going to do is then go to event tick. So we're going to come over here and right click and just get event tick like so. So it's going to run it every frame, as that is the most efficient way to make sure that we are rotating the door. Then I'm going to hold down B, left click, and get a branch, plug that into the event tick there. The condition of this is going to be is holding left mouse button. So if we are holding it, then it's going to fire off. Hold down B, left click, get another branch, go into the true of that one. The condition of this is going to be is looking at door. Get is looking at door like so. And hold down B, left click, and get another branch. And the condition of this is basically going to be if the door has reached its maximum limit, which we set in the open angle. So I'm going to do that code in a minute. So out of the true of this condition, what we're going to do is we're going to get a reference to our door static mesh. So drag and drop that in there. And we're going to add local rotation. So add local rotation like that, plug that into the true there, like so. And the delta rotation of this is what we want to make now. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back to the cast, and as third person character, we're just going to drag that out up here. And what we're going to do is we're going to get the turn rate that we just made. So get turn rate like so. And out of this, what we're going to do is going to get a multiply. So a float times by a float. And this bottom value, I'm going to right click, promote to variable, and I'm going to call this sensitivity, as that is what it's doing, is increasing or decreasing the sensitivity of our mouse to be able to turn and open this door. So by default, I'm going to compile and change the default value to 6. But you can put this as whatever you like. You can put it as 1, 5, 10. But when I was figuring out and doing this code earlier, I found out that 6 was the best value for me. But obviously change this, increasing it, more sensitive, decreasing it is lower. So change this according to you. Out of this multiply, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make rotator. So make rotator like that, making sure that this doesn't go in the X and it goes in the Z, so the yaw, like so. And the return value of that is going to be our delta rotation for the add local rotation, like so. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to get the turn rate, times that by the sensitivity that we want to be able to open the door, put that onto the Z, and then just put that into the add local rotation, like so. Now you can just split this structure pin down here and plug that straight into the Z, but we're going to make a rotator instead. So now this is technically going to work. So if I drag and drop this in and show you what it's going to do, this will work. We just haven't managed to set up the maximum open limit yet. So if I get the drag door, just place it in here like so. And then if I test this out, we should see that this should work. So as you can see, we can drag and open and close our door like so, but we can do that. So we can just go all the way through everything like so, which is obviously not what we want. So let's fix that issue now. So we go back into our door blueprint. Like I say, this branch here is where we're going to run those checks. So we're going to just come down here. So find some space down here, maybe move all this out a little bit like so. And down here, what we're going to do is we're going to get another reference to the door static mesh there. And we're going to get world rotation. So get world rotation like that. Right click the return value and split the structure pin. Out of the Z, so out of the yaw, we're going to get a clamp angle. So clamp angle like that. And that is going to go in the angle degrees like so. And we're going to get a reference to our open angle float, which we made earlier. So get that, which again, I've set to 100 by default. And that is going to go in the minimum angle degrees. The maximum, I just want this to be the opposite side of this. So I'm going to come out of the open angle, hit multiply, so a float times a float. I'm just going to times this by -1 and put that to the maximum angle degrees. So what it's going to do is just get that to be -100, which is obviously the same angle open, but on the other side of the door. So if it's opening the opposite way. So now out of the return value of this clamp angle, I'm going to go into an equal boolean. So an equal float, sorry. An equal float, which means it's just equal as. And out of the return value Z of the world rotation, put that to the top there again. So if the Z is equal to this clamp angle here, meaning it's gone too far. So now with the return value of that, I'm going to get a not boolean. So if it is not equal to that, like so, that is what's going to go into the branch. So if it's not equal to that, then you can't move the door anymore. So basically, if the door has opened too far, we're not going to be able to open or move it about anymore, as we don't want to open it past that angle. But if we leave it as that, that means we then can't move the door or open it or close it at all once it has reached that point, which obviously we don't want to do either. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold down B, left click, and get another branch, plugging that into the false of that one. The condition of this one is a lot easier. So come out of the return value Z of the get world rotation again. And this one is just going to be a greater than or equal to float. So float is greater than or equal to float. Plug the return value into the condition there. And this is just going to be our open angle. So then we can put our open angle in there like that. Now this looks a bit messy as we've got a lot of lines. So you can double click these to get reroute nodes, or you can just move it about so it looks a lot neater for you. So obviously if you give it more space, then this will look a lot nicer and easier to read. But obviously, I'm just showing you how to do this now. So basically, if the world rotation is greater than or equal to our open angle, then we want to set the relative rotation again. So come out of the door static mesh and set relative rotation. Plug that into true. And then what we're going to do for the new rotation is right click, split structure pin like that. And we're just going to get the open angle. So actually, since I've done that there, I'm just going to do that so it's easier to look at. So then get the open angle, come out of that, and just get a minus. So float minus a float, keep it as -1, and put that in the Z like so. So what it's going to do is just going to move it ever so slightly back into the rotation where we can move it. Out of false, so if it's on the other side of the door, you want to do it slightly differently. So again, come out the door, set relative rotation, plug that into false, and again, right click, split structure pin. So we're doing this on the Z. And what we're going to do is just get the open angle, but then multiply, so float times a float, times it by -1, so we're on the other side of the door, and now this time we're just going to add 1 instead of take away. So get a float plus a float, leave it as 1, and put that in the Z, like so. And now this should work. So I'll go through the whole code, and what we're doing is we're holding the left mouse button, and if we are, we're going to run a line trace. If it hits the door, then we're going to be able to set this boolean here. So if we are holding the left mouse button and we are looking at the door, and we are in between the open angles, so we can't move around the door, then it's going to be moving the door based on the player's turn rate and sensitivity that you can set. But then if we hit the open angle on either side, what it's going to do is just ever so slightly move the door angle back into the positions where we can move it, and it will continually do that. So let's see if this works. So we can compile, save, minimize that. Now if we hit play to test this again, I'm going to go into first person. We can see that if it goes there, it's not going to go any further, but we can still move it. And if it goes here, it's not going to go any further, but we can still move it afterwards as well. So this works perfectly. We can now open and close a door using our drag. And also you can change the close angle so that you can't open it this way. It just changes there. You'll obviously just change where I've done open angle times -1. you'll just put in your close angle. So I think that'll be it for this video, as we've done everything we've wanted to do. We've created a door in which we can open and close using our left mouse button and just by dragging our mouse like so. So when we drag our mouse, we can open the door and walk through it like so, which, like I say, is very similar to Phasmophobia or Amnesia or other horror games like that. So that works perfectly. And we also can't open it too far. We have a limit to how far we can open it on each side. So that's great. So I think that'll be it for this video. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, make sure to like and subscribe down below. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.